Hey, what's up, YouTube? So, I was up this morning, getting ready to work, and it's before work anyways. And I was sitting here online looking at some stuff. Wow, I have really white teeth. Anyways, here's the stuff I was looking at. I was sitting here looking at my AdSense, and it says I'm broke, so I was like, that's cool. And then I'm looking at my swag bucks. I don't know if you guys can see the swag. So I'm sitting here looking at my stuff, trying to think of what I should do, to make a little bit extra money. And, I get on Yahoo and, my thing in the morning. And, check my price of silver and all that kind of stuff. And I started thinking to myself, like, I'm trying to make money and, trying to push forward as a young adult, to establish my life and all this kind of stuff. And, oh yeah, price of silver's up. So anyways, I was sitting there trying to look at things, and, I realized how grateful and thankful I am for everything. I'm perfectly in well shape, good health, or whatever you want to call it. My family members are all healthy. I'm not starving by any means. I have a job, so, I guess I could be thankful for that. I got to go to college. Some kids don't even get to go to college. So, for you people out there that are constantly trying to think of ways, kind of take back and sit for a second and realize what you have. Because you should always live in the moments that are, I guess I would say, the good moments, not in bad. And, I know our economy's shitty and everything. Everybody's blaming one person or another, when in reality, no one's taking responsibility for their own actions. No one's sitting there saying, hey, I took out a credit card. Hey, I don't really understand how our economy works. Hey, I don't realize that our dollar's not backed behind anything. Hey, I have a mortgage that I won't pay off for the next 40 years, 50. I can go on a list of things. It's like, hey, I took out a car on a loan. I couldn't wait an extra year and drive my shitty car and have to trade in, So, I guess what I'm really saying is, everybody's blaming Democrats, Republicans, Bush, Obama, your mama, stupid people. You can go on a list of blaming people, but no one's really taking responsibility for their own actions. So, and it's great that silver's going up and, people are talking about it, but what nobody's really saying, hey, the cost of living is also going up. I went into the store to go buy a 2-liter, and it's $1.38. Pringles are $1. I'm not a Pringle fan, but I used to be when they were for $1. I used to buy them up, because they were junk food. Soda I remember when they used to have sales on them where you can get 2 for $1. Now it's $1 is a sale, or 4 for $5 is a sale. So, yeah, granted silver's going up in price, but in reality, your dollar's losing value, and people aren't looking at that. Gold's going up, everything's going up, but your dollar's not worth anything. It's like, gas will go up, but guess what? You won't be able to afford it because you're going to get the same salary unless inflation starts happening, or hyperinflation. And, I can just go on a list of things that are going on, so. But, this video wasn't to sit here and be pissed about people and their actions. It's to basically take a look at what your actions are doing as a whole. Everybody's blaming a person, everybody's, mad at somebody, but nobody's sitting there and taking initiative to be like, oh, gold's down $1. No one's taking initiative to sit there and say, hey, this is what I'm doing to help out the economy. This is what I'm going to do. Everybody's bitching and complaining and, illegals and drugs and, all sorts of things you can possibly think of, but nobody's sitting there saying, hey, this is what I can do. I know I'm young and I can't really do a whole lot, but I know that I can, instead of buying a house right now on, credit and loan and all that crap, and I would be paying for it in 30 years, I could sit at home. Granted, I don't want to. I could sit at home for next 2 or 3 years and see how the housing market goes, and I could possibly buy a house or pay off a majority of it and only owe 10 years on it, or I could wait even longer and buy a foreclosure and fix it up myself. So, that would kind of, in a way, help. In reality, I can sit here and say, blame the banks, because the banks gave the money to the people that can't afford it and will never be able to pay off a house, and with interest rates, that they could never pay off the houses. but I can't, because those people were also the people that, you know, hey, I could finally buy a house I've always wanted. It's my dream multi-million-dollar house. You know, and why, you know, if someone can sit here and say to you, you can have this house and you can pull it off, why wouldn't you? I mean, why wouldn't you want to? So, I mean, you can't really blame stupid people for not being educated. And, I mean, our education system sucks. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I went up to my girlfriend's little sister, and she's like, I'm learning about economy or whatever, and economics and all this stuff. And I asked her, I'm like, do you know what fiat currency is? She goes, no. I'm like, ask your teacher, you know? So, it's one of those things where, like, you know, they're learning things that aren't really important or relevant, and it's like, I mean, they're important, but it's like, why do you care how many people died in World War II? You know? Like, things like that. It's like, you should just get the general concept of, hey, this big war happened, you know, the victor always writes the history. I mean, that's facts, you know? You want to talk about, like, Confederates versus Union, you know, Civil War, everyone's going to sit there and say, well, the Union won because Confederates went into it, you know? I mean, you can go sit here and say that, but you ask someone from the South and they'll tell you completely different. You know, it's all opinion. I mean, people can sit here and say Bush was the best president in the world. You know, he got us in, he went after those terrorists. He's from Texas. You know, you can say Obama, you know, started a health plan. I mean, you can go on and only look at the positives or only look at the negatives, but, I mean, my main thing with this video was just to go ahead and sit and basically, you know, take a second, look back at what you're doing as an individual, and, you know, be happy for what you do have. I mean, there's people starving, there's people that don't have water, clean water, there's people that, I mean, kill each other just for shits and giggles in other countries, and, I mean, I think if anything, everybody should be happy for what you do have, at least for the time and point being, because I think what really is ruining this country is the fact that people are getting greedy, people are not respecting others, and a lot, I mean, this country is getting soft. I mean, you can't let little kids fight anymore because one's bullying the other, so you drive the other one to insanity, and the kid comes up and shoots up the storm, you know? So, I mean, we should really take it as an individual and act upon it instead of blaming people and saying, well, they should do this. Why don't you do something? Alright, if you guys have any questions or comments about this video, or if you just want to subscribe, or if you want to click on the little AdSense I have on one of my videos. I don't know how to do it so that whole page has it, so if you guys know how to do that, feel free to please go ahead and, like, do that. Show me how, or, you know, message me or something. Alright, I hope you guys have a good day. I gotta go to work. Peace.